Greetings to you all, dear fellow teachers. Welcome back to a new explanation of the methodological resource to learning. The MRTL is a pedagogical proposal for the course Inthe. In a previous presentation, we said that the MRTL is a 6-staged methodological formative process, with specific traits each. Time to think, by making contact and remembering. Time to inquire and contrast own viewpoints, with topical sources of information. Time to construct, by using a variety of oral and written resources to carry out pertinent activities. Time to transfer, all things learned by the student to their context. Time to evaluate and reflect, by analyzing and reflecting upon ways to learn. Time to reference, by giving the authors credit for their work. This time, we will focus on the first stage. Let's make contact and remember. Albert Einstein once said, "Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think." Time has prevailed him over, since the world's constant changes have made information, or facts, such an easily reachable product for almost everybody. And how to use it wisely has become the matter of fact. But, we certainly need the basis. Early 20th century American philosopher and pedagogist, John Dewey, started through research, something called New Education, and it was based on discovery and thinking. He thought that learning occurred by reflective thinking, students' interests and context. Dewey quoted,
"Give pupils something to do, not something to learn. And the doing is of such a nature as to demand thinking. Learning naturally results."
Nowadays, the American philosopher and educator, Robert Schwartz, has implemented for over 30 years a kind of education that helps students develop their thinking skills along the learning process. His methodology, thinking-based learning, has become popular all over the world. He says that schools should help students to develop thinking skills, habits of mind, and procedures of thinking they can integrate to their lives. I believe both of them are right. After all, what's life? It may be a constant challenge we cannot completely understand. But one thing is for sure. We have to find solutions to the several situations we run into daily, and consequently, we need to use our thinking skills. At teaching, everything starts with planning a learning unit that proposes a learning experience, that takes a learning purpose which is the competencies, or skills to develop, as well as a meaningful situation, that includes the contexts, situations, possible solutions, and a topic to be treated along the process. The unit also includes the methodological sequence that is formed by the methodological resources to learning. Although thinking takes place all across the process, beginning it by engaging the student's interest through thinking is strongly recommended. This is the exploration of a sample of the MRTL first stage. Let's make contact and remember. Time to think. This one sample is intended for real beginners first class. The topic is health in the context of a pandemics. I chose an image and a simple question, what's your opinion? I could use a question like, what do you think about this picture? But I better use Latin-rooted words. This is very intentional since I would like students use their common sense to attempt understanding by themselves. Instructions are also using Latin-rooted words. And where it is not possible, I will give them some translation. As educators, we need to bear in mind that learning a language is a sort of difficult process, and understanding instructions is crucial to learning. English will be little by little taking over the process and mother tongue will eventually disappear from it. Well, let's continue. Since real beginners need lots of help, and minimum mother tongue interference, using iconography will turn into a great idea, to make the material more comprehensible to the student. Here, I use 2 sentences, easy to understand. Coronavirus is good. Coronavirus is bad. Iconography in here will help students deduce the meaning. Students have to tick one of them. Remember that this stage is just to help students develop their thinking. Then, I propose them to reflect on their responses through the question, why? But, since I am interested, In provoking students' thinking at this stage, I make it a bit controversial by questioning, why not the other? This way, I am helping students notice that we can have more than one perspective. Providing this is a lesson for real beginners, and the stage is just to develop thinking. It is not compulsory that students use English to their reflections. They may not, obviously, know English at this point. Well, this is it. No judging, no language assessments, or giving feedback. Pure thinking at this first stage. We just made contact and remembered. I hope we are ready for the next one. It will be about the second stage of the MRTL, called, Let's Inquire and Contrast. It will perfectly complement this first one. See you then. Thank you for watching.